What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Awake and Sober Podcast, a podcast about life and recovery through Christ.
Yes. Not enough to the end of that one.
I'm getting this new microphone thing, you know? I'm digging it, though. Hopefully it sounds different to everybody. Hopefully it sounds different.
Welcome back, Big Bird.
I can't clap to save my life. I just Mike was like clapping in my ear.
Yeah, that was a little loud.
That's a little loud.
I was told to clap, so I clapped.
And then I just...
Yours were dainty.
I don't know where my hands are.
I think Mike would have broke the clapper if we had one in the studio.
Oh, with those little plastic things?
No,
the clap on, clap off.
Clap off.
Is that still a thing?
No.
No, we got the electric outlets now that just
shut off at a certain amount of time and turn on when you walk in.
You just use the app to turn them on and off.
Yeah.
I just say,
yeah,
Alexa, turn it off.
Yeah.
I say Ziggy.
Ziggy.
Yeah, I name mine Ziggy. I like it better.
Welcome to the Awake and Sober Podcast.
Yeah.
We are on all platforms, correct?
All podcast platforms.
And we have a couple sponsors, correct?
Yes, we do.
We got Country Grammar, but we got these guys first.
Yes. Tactile turn pens. Best writing utensil I've ever used in my life, and I don't stop using it.
The fairway. Because it's always good to be in the middle of the fairway.
The
So
Zerk.
it's been months, really, since I've been on this show with all four of us, and that is still here, and somebody still hasn't taken it.
I know, and he said he had money a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, or something like that. But
Keyword had.
It is still in my possession.
Had.
The fairway, the green jacket of pens.
The green jacket.
Ooh, I like that. That makes me want it more now.
That is pretty
Green
good.
jacket, gold jacket. Who gives it?
I think it's been 2.5 years you've been trying to give it that thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Zerk.
It's pretty close.
The beautiful and the powerful Zerk.
Love it.
Yeah, that's the knock 'em out nightstick Zerk.
Yes.
Who else we got?
We have Country Designs. Check it out. Laser print cups. See that? Country Designs. Get up with them on Facebook. Contact Jordan. She's willing to do what she's got to do.
Hey, flip it around. Yeah, show
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other side.
See, like, whoops, I hit the mic.
Just don't bust
See
the
that
mic.
one? Yeah, beautiful. Great work.
And then, those shirts.
She got
you
different.
on?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And the shirts. She does the print of the shirts. Contact her. She's on Facebook. Country Designs.
Not Country Grammar.
Not Country Grammar. That's Nelly's stuff.
Down.
Speaking
Even
of
though we
Nelly,
from the same spot.
he got arrested.
Again?
Yeah.
For what this time?
He had ecstasy in his car, and he. So
No
my
insurance?
thing is, and no insurance. Yeah, straight up, no insurance. My thing is like, and he got pulled over because of a prior traffic ticket. You're Nelly. I think you got money for a traffic ticket.
But
one
he
would
ain't
think.
made a jam in a while. He might be MC Hammering it.
Actually, no, he's been producing, though.
Yeah.
He's got his own school of producing.
That done shut down a long time ago.
Did it really? I've seen that's much I pay attention to it.
It's
So
just
if
going
we
down,
ask you
down,
about
baby.
a Christian artist,
Yeah.
You know,
You're
It's
gonna
going
know.
down, baby.
Yeah.
Range Rover,
Well, that's different.
street sweeper, baby.
but you know what we're talking about today, and what we talk about every week. Maybe Nelly needs to come and
Shimmy.
Nelly, come on the show, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
we could bring Nelly on and talk to him. Maybe do a little intervention on the show.
Intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, and pray over him right here on the podcast.
Yeah, lay hands on him.
Suddenly, like, nah, I'm just kidding. But
It's very aggressive.
Was very aggressive.
so anyway, Mike, how you been, man?
Do you need more Jesus?
Always. Never enough Jesus in my life.
Amen.
Never enough.
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing good, guys. It's good to be back. Good to see you guys. Had a great CR last night. Got a little surprised. I thought it was going to be pretty slim, but we had enough for a couple groups, which was cool. It was nice.
Yeah, they started just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, for real, man. I was kept looking at the door, kept opening. So no, man, it was good. Life is good. I can't complain. I got nothing to complain about. Wouldn't help me even if I did. So
It was good to see you on stage last night.
yeah, it's good to get up there. It's been a minute.
Scheduled them for a little 12 steps.
Yeah,
or
eight principles. You got the lightweight job.
Yeah, I'll take the hard one next time. Oh, I did. I prayed us out of our group for the first time though.
He did.
Dang, look at that.
He did. He did.
But I don't know. 8 principles are a little bit more difficult because they get confusing at the end since one of them don't have a scripture.
Right, and one of them has 2 of them.
The one has 2.
I did jump the gun at one
You
point,
did,
and I was
you
like,
did.
"Oops, just kidding."
It's easy to jump the gun on that 7th one.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
But no, man, life's good. It's good to see you guys. This is always a great night of my week, and I look forward to it. So it's good to be back.
Can you almost mark this up as a meeting? So there's 4 guys in recovery discussing recovery. That's what you do at a meeting, right?
I mean, it's like
You only
church
need
too.
2.
Yeah,
It's a church meeting,
It's like
You only
church.
need 2 for a meeting.
right? So
yeah.
it's one of my meetings out of the week. Big Perm, welcome back. How you been?
I've been back.
Been back, man. You've been in like 2 episodes in the last 3 months.
I'm back.
That doesn't
He was
count.
back, then he was gone, now he's back.
Yeah, and I'll be here next week.
I'm so excited.
We have a very special guest next week.
We do have a special guest next week. Tune in next week for the
Yeah.
special guest.
No, everything's good.
All right, thanks,
I feel
Jim.
a lot of
Wait,
surface
wasn't he?
level.
Wait a second. Before we even started the podcast, wasn't he talking about those answers? Those what did you call them?
The what?
When you give it that short, or
Oh,
was
it's
that
he said
a
that.
very a face value,
face value answer?
very
Yeah.
shallow. Yeah.
It's going great. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Just definitely don't put him around the
Oh yeah, you totally went there. You did that.
He
This
did.
happened. This is real life.
It's good. Work is a little stressing me out, but we have Amy and I have some things on the horizon. Yeah, kids are finally done with club sports, which I'm very excited about.
Officially done.
Officially
We
done.
need a big cheer.
I think I don't know if I shared this a couple weeks ago. Conley wants to be a professional fisherman.
Yep.
So he's trying to start a club at school. So he's been reaching out to all these different national bass clubs. And
That's awesome.
so that's pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to that because I'm going to need a boat.
Yep.
Oh, my dad retired. So congratulations to Jerry.
Hey, all right, Jer.
Jerry,
49 years with the same place.
Jer Bear.
Wow.
49 years.
Somebody call Guinness World Records, man, because I think that's a thing there nowadays.
I get bored after a month.
Right.
So, yeah, 49 years with the exact same place. So he's excited.
Nice.
I bet he is. Let me get out of here. Gotta go.
What's crazy is he's not officially done till the end of September or the beginning of October, but he's got so much vacation time that he's
Done.
done.
Did he get a gold watch yet?
No. No, they did. We threw him a little party. His work threw him a party on Thursday, and then we had a little surprise get together with the family on Sunday. It was really good.
49 years. He didn't really want to go for 50?
No, I can say this because I know that guy doesn't listen, but he does not like his boss. So that's
No, but here's the thing: his boss is
His
listening.
boss is listening.
right. You know who you are.
Quit being a jerk.
Oh, my goodness.
Derek, how are you?
Exhausted. It's just, I've been putting a lot of time in, doing a lot of different things, and I got some free time coming up, and, I'm going to spend time with me and the Lord and just relax and just get back on point. Like I try to do my best. So, yeah, just really fatigued, really kind of burnt, but, like I said, I got that downtime coming, so I'll be all right.
You were running hard last night.
And that's any different from any other Tuesday because why? It's
Yeah,
what I
but-
do. It's what the Lord called me to do. I'm going to do it.
You were doing a little bit more last night. I seen you doing dishes, and then you had to take over my spot because I had to take over tech. So you did a lot of extra gigs last night. So I'm just saying, you were running like a madman. I know last night.
And I'm okay with that. Scripture says it over and over. It's not going to give us too much that we can't handle. So if I'm up there doing it and I'm running through it, I'm doing what he's called me to do. And that's what matters to me the most. So that's where I'm at on that. And he told me in a couple of weeks, take a vacation. So I'm going to do it.
And I'm listening.
He said, hello, you need to slow down a little bit. Take some time for you. So I'm about to.
Can you ask him when I'm going to get my vacation?
He said, as soon as you let Derek come up to the brick house.
Okay. You or Mike. I don't care. So.
No comment.
You want one of them up there? Or you just need one?
I just want a break. I just want a vacation. Hey, me.
I don't know. I think I'd just take a vacation then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put in the time. If you have it, take it. I've seen everybody else there take a vacation.
Yeah.
There ain't a single person that I haven't seen take a vacation from that place yet.
I want to take a permanent vacation from that place.
Now, that one I can't help you with, but the regular one, I would just say fill out the
I'll
form.
cover you for a week, but permanently, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of on that boat too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
The
whatever.
grass ain't greener on the other side, so
I'm not looking for it to be green on the other side. I'm
I
just
just
looking for it to be somewhere where I need to be.
I don't even care if there's grass on the other side. Really, honestly.
I'll just water the mud.
That's it.
I'm gonna face plant in the gravel.
I'm good with that. You know?
Say, I got boots, man. I'll go to the mud. That ain't a problem.
I'm going to take the dirt, turn it into mud.
That's it.
Shane, how are you, buddy?
Man, I am good. I'm well, whatever I want to say. Last night was a blast.
Yeah.
I was, and I think I set myself up for, not for failure, but for success in the fact that I walked in, I seen the dinner room, and I'm like, who cares? The person that needs to be here is here at the moment. And because there was nobody there for dinner, like half our leadership was even gone because of being sick, having surgery, or taking a staycation because their vacation got ruined. And so, I mean, we were short on everybody. It was pretty funny. And then all of a sudden, 7 o'clock hit, and it was like the doors got reopened, and everybody just came flooding in.
Showtime.
But my tech person, her kid had hand, foot, and mouth. So, of course, she couldn't come and show up, so I had to do tech. What?
What the heck is hand, foot, and mouth?
Some weird, messed up, nasty junk that you don't want. So you don't want her
Kids.
bringing that funk in there.
Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheering.
They stick their hand and foot in their mouth at the same time.
That's what I was hearing.
What? Does anybody else hear that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, I just,
You do need a vacation.
You do.
I know.
What are we here?
Sirens.
Sirens.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, well, popos.
It gets
Like St. Louis PD.
it gets triggering for some of us though.
Somebody
It triggers me.
Somebody
Some of us
jaywalked.
want to jump
Let's
up and
go.
do something, and some of us want to run. You know,
somebody jaywalked out there,
I wouldn't be
and so
driving
Lake
the
St.
car.
Louis is lighting them up.
for jaywalking.
Yeah,
Welcome to Lake St. Louis.
that's right.
They'll pull an Amish person over for going too slow.
Oh my God.
I heard the other day that the first person that got a speeding ticket was going 8 miles an hour.
Okay.
Let it out,
There's
Clem,
a
let it
story
out.
behind it.
I
y'all.
would
There's a
call BS on that. But today in our little treatment team meeting, we started talking about bears.
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 The dog
We were
bear.
talking about the bears and which dog should be named which, because Moose is big and Bear is skinnier, but they should change names because why? Because
Because
bears are
moose,
bigger-
yeah,
yeah.
mooses are big, right?
yeah,
And I was like, oh, that would make sense. And then we started talking about bears, and then I don't even remember.
we talked about like a
Grizzly
vicious
bears
bear,
and then
grizzly
black
bears,
bears,
and then,
yeah.
and then somebody said polar
Because
bear.
you're mean. Because you're like, oh, and I was like, well, I mean, black bears are cuddly. And then Sarah goes, oh, so what about polar bears? I'm like, they're hideous. And then Mike goes, you know that their hair is clear. It's translucent.
and their skin is black.
Did you know that? I thought he was full of it.
They're what?
A polar bear,
Uh-huh.
their hair is hollow and translucent. It's not white.
It's clear.
It's clear. And their skin is black.
Shut the front door.
Go ahead, Google.
No, I'm good. We'll get other things to do, but I'll look it up later.
Just some of the
Seriously?
information that Mike is full of.
That's what I'm saying.
There's so
I-
much useless stuff
So
up here.
I didn't believe him, and then so I fact checked him,
Yeah.
right? And turns out he wasn't full of it.
So you don't want to take the bet on an 8
I don't
mile.
want to take the bet on the 8 mile an hour.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I think it was 7 or 8. I think I'm pretty sure it was 8.
That I do want to Google, though. I want to know what to...
Google it, but the whole thing
Even
is,
though I
is
beat him in rock paper scissors today.
if it comes up with something,
Who...
Cheat.
How fast was the first speeding ticket?
28th of January, 1896, The first person to be convicted of speeding is believed to be Walter Arnold of East Peckham, Kent, UK, who was fined 1 shilling plus costs for speeding at 8 miles per hour, 13 kilometers per hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go.
There's so much stuff in this big fat head.
Wow.
What are you gonna do? You know.
No wonder
Did
we
you
call
recently
it
go to a
malt,
trivia
malt.
night or something where it was like a hodgepodge of questions and you were just like, oh, I'm going to remember that.
Dude, yeah, the
Yes.
amount of just silly stuff
Where
I
did you
remember.
hear that?
You know what? I heard that one on the radio. I did. I heard it on the radio. Yeah.
And the polar bear?
Radio. Polar bear. I went down a little. I like animals, man. I went down a little rabbit hole. Yeah. I think I was probably watching some National Geographic or something like that.
Sounds like a big rabbit hole, but
I was going to say, yeah.
Might have been a reel on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I follow a lot of animal pages. I like turtles.
wow. So, yeah, why don't we jump into
Okay.
some recovery stuff
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, let's get into what this podcast is all about.
before turtle soup happens?
Okay, so this is my question.
Okay.
How does your mindset influence your ability to stay resilient during tough times? How does your mindset influence your ability to stay resilient during tough times?
That's a good question.
I know.
That's why I asked it.
How many questions you go through to probably pull that one out?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's not one of the questions, dude.
That was my question,
He's trying to kill some time to think of an
I know
answer.
he is. I know he is.
too.
So, for me, if I don't think positive, positive things just aren't going to happen. So, I mean, my mindset is going to take me down a rabbit hole of turtle soup and
Polar bears.
negativity.
Yeah. Polar bear.
Or if I could truly think in a positive way, things could be a lot better during those hard times. So, have you ever watched the rubber hand demonstration that they do? They put your hands out on a piece of wood, right?
Oh,
and they put the sheet up.
Yeah.
And so they have the rubber hand. They're touching your hand, your real hand with feathers, and then the rubber hand, and all of a sudden the guy grabs a hammer and whacks your hand, and the people freak out. And he hits the rubber hand, but you could kind of feel that, and you freak out of it because your mind controls so much of your body. You could think your way into being sick, running a fever, thinking that your hand's really, that is not your hand, that it's your hand. Our mind is powerful. And so if we don't have a positive outlook, we are going to be in a bad place really quick.
That's what I say. I like to focus on Christ because it does make that positive atmosphere better for me. And that, when I remember I was going through a deep, dark time in my life, and I went to go play disc golf with a good buddy of mine. And he says, "Do you want to put regular rap music on or Christian rap?" And my answer right away was Christian rap, because there's no telling where my mind would have went if we was putting some of that old school hip hop on. Because I know where my mind was at when I used to listen to that music. So yeah, everything, got to stay godly involved.
Yeah. I think, we say this all the time, what you put in, you get out. So if I'm putting in negative things into my body, I'm going to have a negative mindset. When I have a negative mindset, I have the most defeatist attitude that could ever be. But if I'm putting positivity into my mind, I find that my mindset is much stronger, much more resilient. Because the mind is a powerful thing. And man, all of us, we were all trapped in there for so long. So we know how powerful it can be. So I think pouring positivity in creates more resiliency.
Man, we just learned that last night at CR.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah. And you should have been there. It was pretty cool because dude was like, I don't say you can't watch TV, but what I like to do is listen to podcasts. Shows like Awake and Sober. I was like, dude.
Yep.
He straight called out Awake and Sober during his lesson yesterday at CR.
Burks has been on here a couple times.
Yeah. Burks, thanks for your great job yesterday. Appreciate it. And thanks for the shout out. Man, your turn to answer your question.
I asked the question.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
I have the power here.
So Shane, I like what you said, and there was a fun experiment that I did. I want you guys to not think about a monkey riding a blue elephant.
Too late.
Cool.
Yeah, already crossed my mind.
Yeah, so you can't. If somebody tells you not to think about the negative, what's going to happen every single time? You're going to think about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you not to think about it. So try really hard not to think about it. You're still going to think about it. And so it kind of goes back to what you said. Crap in, crap out, or garbage in, garbage out. If I focus on the negative all of the time, that's all I'm going to see. Mm-hmm. All the time. Mm-hmm. But if I focus on the positive, what happens?
All you see is positive.
Right.
Do I want to look for the good and everything that's bad, or do I want to look for the bad and everything that's good? I mean, it's my choice.
It's mindfulness, one-on-one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really what it is.
I think for a lot of people though, and just staying on the topic, it's like, so when you have like awful things that happen, or let's say you have like, trauma or complex trauma, you have certain things that are happening inside your body that make the negative things stand out more. When you are in a traumatic situation, you have adrenaline and cortisol going through your body, right? And we'll get medical just for a second. But
Mike recently read a book.
I did.
That's why.
I've been teaching this for a couple of years. But you have adrenaline and cortisol going through your body, and those substances, they stay in your bones and they stay in your muscles. So it's harder to process the negative things if that is all that you have in your memories. That's why when you are going through a traumatic experience, your eyesight gets better, your memory actually gets sharper. So that's why we remember some of those awful things way more than we remember some of the good things that has happened. Mm-hmm. And I always found that interesting. It's because, well, no wonder I'm thinking negatively, because most of the, I'm stuck in this cycle of negativity and I can't get out, So I think that should be known.
Thank you, Michael.
There's more stuff in there, I swear.
Sure.
Like 8 miles an hour.
I know.
Translucent hair.
I have so much more, but we'll go.
How important are relationships and support systems in your journey to resilience? How important are relationships and support systems in your journey to resilience? Well, let me ask you this. How would you guys each define resilience?
That's too big of a word for me to comprehend right now. So
I would say the capacity to be, the capacity to make decisions in tough times.
Okay.
The capacity to make good decisions in tough situations.
Overcoming challenges?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was this the word that we looked up that... No, what word was that?
It wasn't that.
That was humidity.
Humidity, yeah.
Really? That's what you got?
Anonymity?
Anonymity.
Because one word that we looked up, what we thought would be the definition was nowhere near the definition of it.
Just completely left field.
Resilience is the ability to adapt to challenges in life and maintain psychological well-being in the face of adversity.
Stand strong in tribulations.
But I like the word in there, adapt.
Mm-hmm. Adapt to challenges in life and maintain psychological well-being in the face of adversity.
Fluid
But
adaptability.
it's just that whole adapt.
So
Adapt and overcome.
back to the question. What was the question again?
How important are relationships and support systems in your journey to recovery?
Well, just like you said, with the
your journey to resilience. Sorry.
In order to adapt, you got to be around the right things to adapt with. Having that community around you of positive people in recovery, doing, like-minded individuals that you adapt to that lifestyle. You get out of recovery, you get out of rehab and go out and hang out with the same fools you was hanging out with before you went in. You're going to go right back to the same thing that you did because of that resilience and the adapting to that. As opposed you get with, people at meetings, your sponsor, accountability, that community, there you start adapting to being able to overcome your addictions, work your recovery, be a stronger individual.
How easy was it for you to adapt in your recovery journey? How quickly were you able to adapt to recovery from addiction?
Well, I had Celebrate Recovery, so when I decided to make that decision to go get my blue chip for the first time, that's when my sobriety and working towards my recovery started.
How long was that, though?
I'm still working at it.
No. How long did it take you to walk up there and get that blue chip?
Well, really, it was right after my Queen codependent told me no. So I'm going on, 6 years. It took me 42 years. And that was in and out of different programs before that I never truly worked my recovery. That I ended up relapsing because I was still going around those. I was still adapting to the people of the street and that type of thing. I even went to the church a couple of times. I would say I was there a month before I truly get through in the town. Went and got my chip.
What about you, Shane?
How long was I there before I took a blue chip? I didn't ever take one.
No.
I took a white key tag.
No, yeah. How long did it, I guess my question would be, how long did it take you to adapt to this new life of recovery that you were?
I think you started adapting the moment you walked in there, but that continued just to grow. But I think the adapting, if you're willing to walk in and you're willing to be vulnerable, that adapting starts right away. I mean, just to walk into the meeting, to be willing to listen and take suggestions, I think it happens for some of us right away. I would say everybody, but it depends how they want to look at it.
Well, if you're just showing up just to be showing up, you're not really going to adapt right away.
But that's why the key words that I threw in there were in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, for me, I think that was right away. Just because I left treatment and I knew what I was going for.
California and back, right?
No, that was later.
Oh.
That was 12 months into my recovery journey.
Oh, okay.
I deserve these things. If I don't get them, I'm going back to using. I'll show that drug.
I mean, come on. We could also say it was safe to say that you adapted to your recovery to prove somebody wrong.
Yeah.
You were going to be that one that he said would only make it out of that group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. And I mean, we were able to prove him wrong. Me and one other person, so he was definitely wrong because he said maybe one of you. But that was it, maybe one. Two out of that class, and one of them was a 19-year-old girl. I still think that's far better.
I've actually used that at work a couple of times. Never said who it was, but you can't sit there and somebody come in with the statistics and sit there and say, only one of us was actually going to make it out of here. I said, really? Because the person I know real well, that's what he was told, and he made sure he was that one. They don't like it.
I don't care if they don't like it.
Well, I wasn't talking about you.
I know you looked at me.
But, I mean, it sucks, but most of the time it's the truth. I mean, out of 30-some-odd people, how many people are really going to stay sober? Addiction is a hard thing.
The long-term recovery and what we do is considered 3+ years. The chances of that coming in, you come into recovery, the chances of that, so out of 10 people, maybe 3 might make it to 3 years. And that's pushing it. I know, but that's, the statistics are 30 to 40%.
One may make it to 3 years.
Right.
Maybe.
Oh, I know.
It depends what that one was, because most likely you have 10 knuckleheads in there. That's why it's better to have a group of 40 or 50 to pull from.
Yeah.
Because you
Raise your
might have
chances.
only 10 knuckleheads.
Yeah. And I think that statistic is one out of that, how many will stay sober for the rest of their life. I think that's what it is. I don't think they put like a certain time
the long-term
on it.
sobriety.
Long-term is 3 to 5. I just looked at it today.
So it's
That's all they shoot
one
for
out
now.
of that is just
Here's the sad thing. So they keep taking long-term from 10 years, 5 years,
Yeah, they keep
down
bringing
to
it
3
down.
years. Pretty soon it's going to be, hey, 90 days.
You did a 1 week detox, you're good.
Long-term
solid.
sobriety, you got it, 90 days.
yeah.
Some people already think that way.
Well,
Yeah.
I only got to be here for detox.
you got to just be careful of drug poisonings.
Huh?
Yeah.
Drug poisoning.
Why? I don't,
Yeah.
my first real podcast back, I don't want to talk about HRS.
Harm reduction.
No, stop. Next question. That's how I feel about harm reduction.
I started adapting as soon as I think I made the decision that I needed help.
I think so too, but I want to go back to the original question real quick before you ask another one. How important are people, the community, for us?
How important are relationships and
Yes.
support systems on our journey?
I don't think I would be here today if it wasn't.
Not a chance. I feel they're everything.
If I didn't have the men in this room and a couple other men in my life, I wouldn't be here right now.
Straight up.
So I would say they're the most valuable tool that we have to us staying sober, to us having long-term sobriety, to us having just success in life, period. Jesus has called us to be in community, with people.
Come on, man. He walked around with 12 cats, right? You know.
At
He
least
walked around with a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying
We got 5,000 at one time. We
I don't
got all
remember any
kinds of
cats
things.
in the Bible, dude.
I mean,
mind your business.
I don't know. We had lions in that cat.
They was lions.
Yeah. We had kitty cats.
Anyway. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you do a podcast with a couple white. No, I'm just kidding.
With a couple of your boys. A couple of homeboys haven't been in a room together for a long
Right.
But yeah, I couldn't imagine doing this journey without a community of
time.
people.
No chance.
Can anybody really do it by themselves?
There was this one guy at band camp.
And he's still there.
Right. No. I'm sure we've heard of an individual that one recovery program, maybe one or two individuals that did it and it worked for them, and they did it by themselves, but not very.
I think I asked you this. You've heard about that guy that's got 30 years of smart recovery, right?
No,
Me either.
Arthur.
That's not a real thing.
Sorry, smart. It's great. It's great. So is harm reduction.
Moving on.
Moving on. Hey, this
Welcome back,
This is
guys.
opinionated. Okay, this is
Well,
just my opinion.
And the thing is look, people can make it there. People can make it anywhere if they believe, if they think right. If Jesus wants to do that for them, if God wants to heal them,
Yes.
if God wants to deliver them. But most of the time, the question is, why would he? Why would he do that for you and you have nothing to do with it? Now, I would say if God's calling somebody to a different ministry and that person's going to be obedient, give God the glory, then I've seen that happen. But they still have a community of people around them because they're doing God's work
You're still
somewhere.
doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they might not be in recovery the way that we are in recovery, but they have a community of people around them and they're following what God has called them to do. So I've seen people do it that way. Like they just put it down and never look back. And they've been delivered from that addiction. Good for them. The majority of us are going to be like the four of us sitting in this room and everybody else, that we have work to do. God took the obsession, the compulsion, the desire to use. God gave, we once were blind, but now we can see, and we have work to do.
Well, because we know that in order to keep what we have to give it away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And why is that? Why, in order to keep your sobriety, do you have to give it away?
Because when I'm giving it away to somebody else, it reminds me what I need to be doing to keep my sobriety. That's why I give it away. It's what I do. Because if I'm showing you the way to go, I'm reminding myself at the same time what I'm doing, need to be doing. If I'm telling you, hey, you need to get with the community, you need to get with a group of guys, and get you a sponsor, all that good stuff, that keeps reminding me, hey, I got to keep up with mine. That's what I get out of it.
Somebody took the time to pour into me, and I'm going to take the time to pour into somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
Because if I hog that all, goodbye. It's kind of like when God gifts us, if we don't use it.
He takes it away?
I mean, if we're not going to use it to glorify him and we bury our talents and then just, here you go.
Give him back. Yeah.
What's he do? Takes that and gives it to somebody else?
Yeah. Hopefully somebody else is going to do something with it.
But what did he do to the guy that used his talent?
He gave him more back. Doubled it up. Take this and then some. What you are faithful with the small, I'll make you. What is it, man? If you remain faithful with the small stuff, I'll make you rulers over big stuff. Something like that, man. I can't remember word for word. But
I'm surprised.
Sounds good.
Usually he has.
I do, and I
can't think
of
word
it.
for word.
I know.
I'm surprised you didn't get.
If you are faithful with the lesser things, I will put you in charge of greater things. John 16:4.
Are you sure?
No.
You had me convinced that I'm like, he's going to put
I did too for a
he's going to
second,
put me
yeah.
in charge of things. I don't think he says that.
God's going to give you some things to do.
He does.
He's gonna give you some extra stuff.
It happens.
All right, next question.
He's gonna give you another TV.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, good. He's gonna look it up while you ask.
Yeah. How do you balance maintaining resilience with taking care of your mental and emotional well-being? How do you balance maintaining resilience with taking care of your mental and emotional I would even say spiritual well-being.
A lot of resilience today, huh?
Yeah.
That's the topic I picked.
There's a theme. I like it.
Yeah.
That's what you label this podcast. Resilience.
Resilience, yeah.
Yeah.
We've never talked about it.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm going to get rid of hodgepodge and we'll go with the resilience.
There you
I like
go.
it.
Can you say it one more time? Sorry, Jay.
Yes, sir. How do you balance maintaining resilience with taking care of your mental and emotional and spiritual well-being?
You said resilience, being able to, adapt and that. So being around like-minded individuals. If you want to spiritual and, be able to balance your spiritual and all that, be around spiritual individuals. If you want to be around mental, help with your mental and stuff, be around people that's going to help lift you up and not break you down. Especially I know in our addiction, we've always seemed to be around those individuals that always got something smart to say. Want to make you look like dumb so they feel better about themselves or whatnot. And we get so insecure about ourselves, we end up finding ourselves around that and stuff. And we want to be able to balance it out, be around individuals that are going to encourage you, build you up, challenge you in a more strong, positive way.
I feel like resilience is a byproduct of me focusing on my spiritual and emotional well-being. If I focus on those things and I am good emotionally, I am good spiritually, naturally, I feel like I'm going to be more resilient. I'm going to be more adaptable. So there's not really a balance. It's like, okay, if I do these things, this is going to come along with it. So maybe it is, but yeah.
I was thinking about peanut butter and strawberry habanero. That's my ADD kicked in, and I was like, "What he's talking? Shane's over here doing something. And I was like, that was really good." And then I was like, I don't know what. I looked at you and I was like,
You looked at me and you looked lost.
you
were focused on peanut butter and jelly.
What scripture did I say that was?
John 16:4. It's not.
Yeah.
It's Luke 16:10.
Yeah. You weren't far off.
No, just a book.
I'm sweating.
Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much.
Amen.
Luke 16:10. I knew it was in the 16s. I just couldn't remember what book.
It's good. It's good.
It was Fred
focusing on
Flintstone,
peanut butter and
1612.
Gosh, I love you guys.
Oh, I haven't laughed like that in a while.
Moving on.
Deuteronomy.
How we doing?
Please
Very
put his
good.
face when I'm talking. Put Jeremy's face on there, and so just so people can see what we saw.
I'm
what
crying.
I saw.
I'm crying.
He's just sitting there. Nothing but
Sorry.
PB and
This is-
habanero jelly going.
Giggles. This
through.
isn't a laugh box, by the way. I'm sweating. What advice would you give to someone struggling to build or maintain resilience
Show up at CR.
on Tuesday nights?
Tuesday nights, the bridge.
Bridge. Dinner at 6.
Lake St. Louis.
Whoop, whoop.
Keep coming back. Go to a meeting.
Do the next right
The
thing.
next right thing. I got a lot of plugs on this one today. Do the work.
You do the work.
Hey,
You get out what you put in.
you get out what you put in. You
know?
do the work. You're gonna stay sober.
One day at a time.
Odds are.
You know.
Yeah.
But don't.
Goodness,
Are you
I was about
on the
to throw
beam
my
or off
phone
the
at
beam?
somebody.
Get in a community of recovery.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Get in a community. Be
Here's
around
a-
others.
Here's a saying for you. Then you want parking lot healing, give parking lot answers.
Boom.
That's to a step study.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's what I basically. Yeah. Okay.
Did someone just?
He says chair.
Did you just fart?
I don't know. We just lost half the audience, though.
It's okay. They'll be back.
The chair.
They might stick around a little bit longer.
Yeah. Look at this video. These four
not a scratch
weirdos
and
just
sniff.
sit around and laugh for an hour.
Oh, with everything going on in the world, I think everybody could use a little laugh.
Yes, we
All
do.
right.
A little. Can you share a specific example of a difficult situation where you were tested and how you navigated it? Where your resilience was tested and how you navigated it?
A Pacific?
A specific example
specific.
of a difficult situation
Specifically.
where your resilience was tested and how you navigated it. And can we think of something other than, well, I came into treatment? Like,
No, I'll say I have a good one. I'll say when you and I were on the rocks 6-7 months ago.
now that could be triggering to some people.
Yeah,
On the rocks.
get over it.
Triggered.
At least you didn't say Jameson or something.
Short right there. No, but that was a really, really hard time. For me it was. I think it was for you. I'm not going to speak for you, but getting through that and having like the group around me and us to be able to be able to get through that, not separately but together. Like Shane said earlier, without the guys in this room, I would not be where I am. It's like, yeah, without these guys and right here, I would not be anywhere near to where I am right now. I might not even be. I definitely wouldn't be sober anymore. So that was one of the harder things I've had to deal with in my recovery. Honestly, it's like, because that's like the shutting off of a relationship that like means so much to me, and it's like like a brother. And then it was like, well, what am I doing? What's my part? But to be able to get called on it and see my part was something that I need. I need that accountability, So that allows me now to be like, okay, I'm trying to be adaptable. So like if I'm doing this stuff again, I'm trying to call myself on it as opposed to like it getting out of hand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's one situation that I can definitely attest to. My resilience was it was under scrutiny for sure.
I'd have to say mine was when my daughter sat there and told me she didn't want to have nothing to do with me. Again, after everything I went through to get to her, have her in my life, and then come out and say that. And the old Derek would have ran and used. But being able to, with my resilience and being able to adapt to what God's called me to do, be around the right individuals, I had people to talk to. I had, somewhere to go to not end up that way again. And I think that was a big, strong one in my life.
Why was your first reaction to go out and use? First thought. Not reaction, just first thought.
No, it actually wasn't this time, but normally it would have been.
Okay, gotcha.
Back when I was using, because that was my coping mechanism. I ain't feel nothing. I didn't care about nothing when I did something. So that would be my first thought, because that's how I did it before. Now, with, like you said, we were talking about maintaining resilience and that, having that, being able to adapt, I don't go that route anymore.
Jane?
I think we've heard the story enough, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's always another.
Mine too. Mine's just like Shane, so I'm good.
I'm just no. No.
Think about it.
You can't take back seats.
I've told the story how many times recently because I just went through it.
Right.
And so it's nothing new. I mean, I hit that dark, deep depression that I don't want to be tested like that again. I really don't. I'm like, what do I really need to learn this time? And maybe it was just trusting the people around me, a different level of trust, because I'm so used to just figuring it out. A lot less God, a lot more Shane for a little while, and just figuring things out. And God has put people in my life that I can trust, and so I have to trust them. I have to trust that they have my best interests at heart as well as I have theirs. That was a time that I just don't want to go through ever again in my life. That's for sure.
Does God test us?
No, I think he challenges us, though.
I mean, God says to test me in one thing, but doesn't say that he won't test us or challenge us. But I also don't think God puts us in bad situations that are going to be harmful to us. I had this conversation with somebody last night at the end of the night. He wanted to say that God put him in this place that he was in so that way he would get him out. And I said, no, you chose to go to that place. But God gets to get the glory for it for getting you out.
Right.
So we have free will. We step into the mess, unfortunately, and then God gets in there with us and pulls us out.
I was gonna say, I think we unconsciously test ourselves. Excuse me. If that makes any sense.
But I think he would make test us on little things, things that are not going to be harmful to us, to where we're going to maybe wind up dead. I think that we could have certain tests in our
He
life.
puts us in challenging situations where we have a choice to make. I don't think God tests us because, I mean, what did Satan do to Jesus?
He tempted him.
Right. So Jesus wasn't tempting himself. Right?
No.
So God wasn't tempting him. God allowed Satan
to do so.
to do so.
And I think God would challenge us to grow us. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be in a situation that's going to be truly harmful to us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it says that no temptation fall upon us that's not common to man without giving a way out through him.
Right, through him. But that's usually something that we also created.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if we take a step back, most things, I mean, all things, we made a decision. And now we're standing at a crossroads because of a decision we made. Did God make us go there? No. Did God stop us from going there? No, because of free will. But we ended up at that crossroad. Now we got to make a decision. And if we lean on God for that decision making and the people that He's put in our lives, we'll make the right decision. But if we want to lean towards our fleshly desires, we're done.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
Oh, I think that's a good way to
I think we talked about that the other day at Step Study. Was, God doesn't shut the door on us. We choose to go to hell. We choose to do that, but through God, we can pull ourselves back out, or God can help
With
us.
God.
Yeah. With God, we can climb back out, right? But we make the decision to go into the darkness.
Yeah. If we drown in God's life raft, we just got to grab onto him, right?
Right. Whether it be the boat or the helicopter or the whatever it is.
I like to think of it as, and I didn't used to think this way, but now when I'm working with clients that are struggling with that God spirituality thing, I always say, God already knows everything you've done. You're not going to surprise him about anything. The only thing he wants is your heart. And so when you can actually just, wow, he just wants me to love him and give all myself to him, that's all I got to do. That's it. And it's just an easy, for some of us, it's a very difficult step to take that leap of faith and say, wow, I'm going all in on this. Here it is. Here's my heart. Here's my life. I'm done. I surrender. But that's, you're not going to surprise God.
Leap of faith, loss of control.
So I did a writing that I read at the weekend service.
You read?
And it was only when I write. I only read when I write.
Only when I write.
I don't like other people's writing.
Touche.
But I like mine.
Touche.
So I read a piece that I wrote whenever I walked in late to worship and I got wrecked for the first time when I started that healing process. And I said, it's so amazing that the only thing that you ever wanted from me was my heart, and I've kept that from you. And I mean, that was a difficult thing to write, but that was a difficult thing to try to read on that stage in front of people, because it was during that song Gratitude, I lift up my hands to give you hallelujah because that's all I have. Mm-hmm. And God says that's okay.
Y'all should have been there for that, because he actually sang that on stage. He sang it.
I wish I was.
What?
Yeah.
You couldn't help it because we had just got done singing the song for the worship time, and then I'm doing the testimony side, and when you're talking about, then I throw up my hand, and it automatically just started in the rhythm of.
He did it too.
And it was even more the second service.
He sang it like he brought it, like he'd done it before,
I'm like, what am I doing? Can't sing.
But you did.
I'm gonna empty this church.
Whatever. Everybody started singing along with it, man. It was
That
crazy.
They did do.
Yes.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hear me, so they started.
Whatever, man.
All right, quick, drown him out.
All right.
What do you got next?
We're gonna close
That's
up.
all of them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
that's
have
a
been
good
going
place.
for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, I think that was a good place to end. I think that was
It was good.
good.
So anybody got anything in closing? Mikey, you got anything in closing?
In closing, James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him.
Yeah, I'm closing up with Luke 16:10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much.
I'll close out with the Gospel of Matthew, 1926. Jesus looked at them and said, "With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible."
Ooh,
I think that's a good way to close it right there.
yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir. We want to make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. We're on all podcast platforms. Don't forget to check out tactileturn.com, our awesome sponsor, best writing utensil on the market, as well as
Country Design.
Country Design.
Laser prints on cups. Show the mugs. Check it out.
T-shirts,
Wake and
mugs,
Sober,
anything you
T-shirts.
want printed, go check them
I
out.
think she's
Country
willing
Design.
to try anything.
Yeah,
She is more than willing to try
she's
anything.
adaptable.
She is she's resilient.
She's
Her
resilient.
resilience and her
Resilient.
creativity is awesome.
Resilient and very adaptable.
Absolutely.
Challenge her. I encourage you guys to challenge her. Come up with a thought in your head, give it to her, give her 2 days to come up with it and see what she comes up with. I bet you love it. Boom.
Yeah. So with that, with everybody here from the Awake and Sober podcast, we love you guys. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Peace.